You passed your insurance exam. First off, I'm crazy excited for you. I'm going to give you four, things that you're going to want to have in order. And I'm talking about finances, all right? The financial things that you're going to need to have in order so that you can take it to the next level. And I'm crazy excited for you. Passing your insurance exam is definitely a rite of passage. So first off, congratulations. I'm going to help you with this content, four things that you're going to need to have in order financially so that you can have a fighting chance of really dominating in this time-tested and noble profession. So many men and women have been insurance agents in front of you, and I'm so excited that you have passed your exam. It is exciting news, and my goodness, you have a fighting chance to be financially free. You have to have your finances in order so that you can be ready and not be kind of looking at this industry with rose-colored glasses. You need to really know what some of the costs are associated with being an insurance agent and in insurance sales so that you can hopefully maintain crazy levels of success. So I'm going to give this content to you today, and I'll also put some content up at the end of this video for you new agents that may really help you and give you some resources that you may need. So the first cost, that really is involved when you just passed your insurance exam is you're going to need to purchase errors and omissions insurance. Errors and omissions insurance is kind of like a bulletproof vest for a police officer, okay? You as an insurance agent in insurance sales are going to need, and a lot of carriers will really require you have errors and omissions insurance. So if you made an absolute, mistake, or made an error, you forgot something, because we're all human, right? It would protect you. So errors and omissions insurance will cost you right around mid-30s, right around $36 a month or so if you're a life and health insurance agent. So errors and omissions insurance is a cost that you've got to be ready for as an insurance agent. Just having your exam passed and now hopefully being ready to be licensed, you may have to pay a little bit of licensing fee involved as well with your state. So you're going to pay a little bit of that. That is something you're going to put out financially. So it's not one of those things where you look at, I passed my exam, there's no more cost, right? Nope, we're going to get into it with you. So the first thing that's going to cost you is errors and omissions insurance and licensing fees. That's something that's going to come out of your pocketbook, understand, around mid-30s a month. And if you need good errors and omissions insurance, companies to go with, feel free to reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. I'd absolutely be blessed to share that with you. And I do recruit agents across this nation. So let me know if I can serve you in that way. But you need errors and omissions insurance. Never, and I mean never, sell insurance without errors and omissions insurance. Just like if you did the very dangerous profession of being a police officer, you wouldn't be going out there like John Wayne without a Kevlar vest. It's just silly. It's just stupid and foolish. So you got to account for the cost of errors and omissions insurance. You got to get your money right before you make the jump and start actually selling insurance. And I care enough about you to share this content with you. So I hope this is helpful to you. You also may need to pay for what's called continuing education, CE, CE is just continuing education that you may need to pay for depending on your state, all right? So continuing education is a very small cost. Typically, it's sub 50s, and it can be a lot less than that. So itty-bitty nickel and dime kind of stuff is kind of what I'm sharing with you. But errors and omissions insurance is kind of an ongoing event. You're going to pay for that every month normally, or you could pay for it annually and save yourself a little bit of cost. But $36 a month is still $36 a month. So if you're a face-to-face insurance agent, for those of you watching, you've got to account for increased fuel expenses. That costs you money. You've got increased wear and tear on your car if you're a face-to-face insurance agent, but as telesales agents never have to worry about that. And I do recruit agents across this nation for face-to-face and telesales. And let me share with you, I'll tell you all about it. A face-to-face insurance agent has more expenses than a telesales agent ever will, because we don't have to use our cars the way that you face-to-face agents that partner at jasonfinalexpense.com are using your vehicles for. You've got brakes, you got cars, you've got accidents that can happen because you're putting so many miles on the road. And the way gas prices are right now, they're egregious. So that's a cost you need to account for when you're brand new and you just passed your exam. You got to figure out, do I want to be a face-to-face agent and have those financial costs involved? Or do I want to be a telesales agent and maybe go that route because it'll save you money on gas, wear and tear, and all that fun stuff, okay? So errors and omissions insurance is the first cost that's going to kind of hit you. Maybe some licensing fees, especially if you're grabbing a non-resident license or even paying for your own state's license. Certain states are more expensive than others. Like if you're in Hawaii, oof, a lot more expensive, okay? The next cost, okay, tip number 2 that I'll share with you is you need to put money into organization. There's not a lot that's involved. You can get cheap little manila folders, okay? I'm talking about like cheapy folders. This isn't a real expensive cost. You can get it at Amazon. You can get 100 of them for dirt cheap. You're talking seriously pennies for each of these little manila folders, but you need to buy folders to keep yourself organized, or if you're a digital agent, really have things set aside properly as a brand new final expense agent, Medicare or annuity agent, that you can keep yourself organized by the carrier. So you're looking about 2 to 4 cents a piece if you buy in bulk, but get yourself manila folders. You may need to buy a printer. You may need extra paper as an insurance agent. You will need probably a paper and a printer, or put some money aside. If you don't have that, that's okay. You can always go to FedEx, Kinko's, okay, your library. You get so many free pages and prints. You can use that resource as well. Not a big cost here as a brand new insurance agent, but you need to be aware of this. Okay. So when you pass your insurance exam, you got to be able to account for these costs so that you can hopefully really make it. So the second thing that you got to focus on, just remember, you got to buy manila folders. You've got to maybe buy a printer, which is ink costs. You're going to definitely, as an insurance agent, need to get a computer or an iPad. That's going to cost you some money, but a lot of times family members will have an old computer hanging around, or an old student. You can even buy one at a pawn shop, get a good iPad. You can look at OfferUp. It's not a big cost, but you want to take an account of that cost so that you can be ready and prepared to be profitable, hopefully. All right. So get yourself organized. You're going to have electronic applications if you're a face-to-face agent. If you're a telephonic agent doing telesales, you're still going to need a computer or an iPad. All right. Very important. You can even do it on a netbook. That's important as well, but that's a cost that you're really going to have to account for. So tip number 1, your costs, errors and omissions insurance, licensing fees, CE credits. Okay. You can do free anti-money laundering. Okay. Especially in my agency, no big deal, but some agencies will make you pay for it. Okay. The second thing you're going to focus on, you got to be organized. You got to pay for manila folders, printers, computer, an iPad, borrow one, buy one. No big deal. Not a huge cost, but account for it. Okay. The third thing that you're going to really have to take a financial account to is you need to focus on communication. Doesn't matter if you're a face-to-face agent or a telesales agent, you're going to be doing lots of calling, even if you're face-to-face, because you're setting appointments. If you're a telesales agent, you're on the phone a lot, and you've got that communication cost. Do you need a CRM? Okay, you got to think about that. Are you going to have a different phone line? Finances come into play here. All right. So you got to have a good phone, good communications. You may not want to use your personal cell phone to do telesales. It may not be the wisest for you, especially when you're calling into a different state. If you live in Florida or New York, don't do telesales in those 2 states, especially for outbound. All right. Care enough about you to share that tip with you. But when you're getting into insurance sales, you passed your exam, you've got communication cost. Tip number 3, you may need to buy a CRM with a power dialer. That costs money. All right. And I want you to make it. So you got to get your money right before you make the jump. All right. So get your communication in order. You've got to have your comms ready to go. You got to have good phone systems, good CRMs. And if you need good CRMs with power dialers, reach out. I'll give you great advice on that. And at the end of this video, I'll put some tips up here for you brand new insurance agents and some resources that you can watch and really get engaged on how to find good partnerships with my agency or any other agency on the planet. I'll put these up here at the end of this video for you that hopefully will help you. But you've got a cost here associated with communications. Don't go cheap on communications. And what I mean by that is don't use a cell phone with lousy connection. You're going to lose profitability by that. Telesales and even face-to-face sales is all about good communication if you want to have a good chance of capitalizing in this amazing industry. You can't call somebody and have it be a scratchy phone. You can't call somebody and have them only be able to understand every third, every fourth word out of our mouths. It's important that your communication is crystal, and I mean crystal clear. You may need to invest in communications of having a good headset, especially if you're using a power dialer. You need good headsets, not a scratchy one or one that makes you sound like you're in a tin can. You want to translate the business with massive levels of success. Financially, it's going to cost you to have a good headset. I've been using this great headset. It's a Plantronics. I love this headset, but I've used it for over a decade. It's amazing. It's like a trusty dog. It's always by my side. It's never let me down. If you buy a good one, you don't have to buy it again and again. Sometimes you buy a cheap one and it just won't last. So if you need a good headset for your power dialer, reach out. There's some affordable ones that are built well, and I can serve you that way. But you've got a communication cost. You've got to take an account of that cost, especially when you're new. And sometimes you're not told these things. So to recap, get your errors and omissions insurance. You're going to have a cost associated with that, cost of your licensing fees. The next thing, you got to have your an iPad, your folders, printers, ink, or you're going to pay for that at a FedEx Kinko's, or maybe use your library or some family members that have a printer. But still, you got to buy paper, right? And then you got tip number 3, you got to have good communications. And I mean really good communications. If you want a chance of making it, there's a small cost associated with maybe even buying an additional phone line that's local to the area that you're going to work. Very important. Or sometimes you can even use your cell phone and buy an app that gives you an additional number that you own. That's not expensive, but it is a cost that you want to take an account of. So the last tip I'll share with you, tip number 4, is you're going to pay for leads. Leads are leverage. Leads are the lifeblood of you making it or not. And so many agents don't account for their costs. They pass their insurance exam. They're ready. They're really excited. They're looking at the industry through rose-colored glasses, and they don't get this real content to help them understand what they need to save for so that they can be successful. So as a brand new insurance agent, you need to buy leads. Yes, buy leads. Okay. And it's going to cost you to buy leads. If you go the route of aged leads, maybe you're going to pay $1 or so a lead for an aged lead. Then maybe you're going to jump into a more expensive lead. Maybe you're going to go an inbound lead. Those are more expensive, typically the mid-30s. You go a TV lead, you're probably looking around the 60s per lead. So you want to take an account of your lead costs, and you can absolutely make it in powerful ways. There's so many brand new agents that have joined, our agency. They do so well. But if you don't have a lot of money, take heart. You can make it. Start with aged leads first. You can overcome a lot of things with high action, but you got to have your money right when you first start to have a fighting chance. So if you want a fighting chance to make it, get your finances right. If you've got even, $1,500 put aside, you can find amazing success, but you don't want to start in this industry if you don't have much money, because if you start with $0 and you can't even pay for errors and omissions insurance, you can't buy a computer or an iPad, you can't have any communications, you're borrowing somebody's cell phone, you can't buy a single lead, it'll leave you with a poor taste in your mouth. And you won't be able to experience the profitability that hopefully you could have if you were told this in the beginning. So if you're an agent that's like, you know what, I've only got $100 in my pocket. I've only got $500 in my pocket right now. My advice to you is hold off a little bit. Okay. Work a part-time job real quick. Maybe sell something on OfferUp. Get your finances right. Get your money right so that when you jump in, you can have the best chance of survival. Insurance agents that make it, let me tell you, there's no life like the insurance agent life, especially in telesales. But you got to take into account what these little costs are before you jump into this industry. Hope this content helps you. If I can help you in any way, feel free to reach out, jasonfinalexpense.com. Keep doing the great work. And I'm so excited that you passed your license and your exam. Be ready to take care of great people. It is the best paying hard work you've ever seen in your life. Have a great day. And if I can serve you in any way at all, feel free to reach out. jasonfinalexpense.com. These great prospects need you, and I hope you have amazing profitability in this industry. We'll see you soon.